You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Thank you for joining me today on this Training Thursday show, where I'm happy to be here with you. I'm happy to be able to share with you some of the tips that we use right here in Boston that you can use anywhere in the world to be able to get yourself in shape the fastest way possible. So what I like to say is this, is that there's always a way to be able to ice the cake to make your workouts and your body transformation efforts even better. But what you have to do first is make sure you're taking care of the fundamentals. So we'll do just a quick recap of what are those fundamentals, and then we'll talk about icing the cake. These things you can do for 3 to 4 weeks before you're looking to either go away on a warm weather vacation where you want your body to be in as best shape as it can, or maybe it's just in time for the summer. Any one of those things, very appropriate this time of the year, at least in the United States. And so that's why I want to do this show with you. That it's very timely for the most part. And I think you'll be able to implement it and start getting results right away. So let's get into it now. Now, the fundamentals are this. I'm just going to do a quick breakdown. And again, at stephencabral.com, when you enter your email for the welcome package, you literally just get kind of the basis, like, okay, here's some things that you can do. Here's the ideal workout week. All of those things will be updated more and more over time as well. But as long as your emails with us, I just send out a once-a-week email newsletter because I don't want to bombard you with the emails. I know how many emails I get. I don't want you to have to deal with the same. But I send out a Sunday email. It's just kind of like my recap for what's going on, where I'm at that day in my head, where I'm looking to prepare for the week, and things that I want to share with you. Plus, I do a recap of everything that we talk about here on the Cabral Concept. So I love writing that email, love doing that recap. I call it the Sunday Rewind. Anyway, that's just the one email that you get a week when you're on that email newsletter list at stephencabral.com. So the fundamentals of an exercise program are this, that it does not need to be overblown. Like, you don't need to do any crazy boot camps or any crazy hard workouts. And it's not that I'm against them. It's just that I see too many people suffering from adrenal-based issues, low electrolytes. They're starting to feel burned out, lower thyroid, not able to lose the weight, not getting enough sleep at night. Insulin levels are not where they should be in terms of blood sugar. So, it's just when I look at those things, I say, okay, what this person doesn't need in their life right now is more stress. They need to be exercising, but they don't need to be just crushing their body. Like, that is not helping. If, a little is good, more isn't always better. And also that if it's not working, we don't need to beat the body into oblivion. Like, that is not the way to improve your results. What we do need are every other day workouts. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, anything like that. And that's okay if you want to do more. Like, I'm okay as well with, let's say, a Monday, Tuesday workout, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday on, do a little something fun on the weekend. Like, that would totally be good with me as well. But what we just can't do is work out every single day, just burn our bodies out, all of those things. And if you're going to do the 2 days in a row, just try to not crush the body in the same exact way 2 days in a row, not 2 boot camps. Maybe one day is a spin, and then the next day is a metabolic resistance training program. That would be great. Like, that would work perfectly well. Or one of them is a hot yoga class, which a lot of people like to do, and then resistance-based training. Figure it out. You'll be able to do it for sure. What I say is this, is that if you're going to work out, which I do recommend that you do, don't let it be haphazard. Don't waste your time. Just don't go into the gym and just go through the motions. Choose your favorite book, your favorite online personal trainer or real-world personal trainer. Work with a personal trainer in a studio, maybe it's just 12 weeks, but start to learn programs, or meet with them once a month for 2 workouts to get your workout, and then do it on your own for 4 weeks, 6 weeks maximum, and then switch up that program. So obviously, I'm a big advocate of coaches. Again, I've worked with coaches my entire life. Whenever I've looked to improve, whether it's martial arts or whether it's my own training or whether it's learning how to do a podcast, like anything, I've always had coaches. When I was getting well, I had coaches. It turned out to be doctors, but I still had coaches. So I'm just a big advocate of that. And if you can't afford a personal trainer to work with a personal trainer, then you could also just, again, get a great book on it or get a really good online personal training program. Don't let it be any personal training program. Make sure it's from a very reputable personal trainer. There are so many great ones out there. Again, I wrote a book back in 2010 called A Man's Guide to Muscle and Strength. It's on Amazon. It's on our website, equilibriumnutrition.com. And literally, those are my best workouts for essentially 1 year. 12 workouts for under $20. We'll put it that way. So it's a pretty good deal. But you can go buy any book that you feel is appropriate for you. And my book, A Man's Guide to Muscle and Strength, is not what I wanted to call it because it's not for just men. It's for women as well. It's just a good overall training book that goes through weight-based training and resistance-based training, not just to get put on a lot of muscle, but to get your body in great shape. That's what it's about. So what I want is those every other day workouts or your your Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, pick a weekend day if you want, like totally fine. Okay. And I also want you to change up your workouts every 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks maximum once you start to plateau. And I want you to vary your workouts each week, or I should say during the days of the week, based on how you're training. So it could be lower rep and more explosive, looking at more absolute strength, more neuromuscular-based strength, then some higher rep, looking at endurance-based and kind of like a metabolic resistance-based program. But again, any good program will show that to you. I just want you to be able to train all the muscles in your body, fast twitch, slow twitch, and then it will also help with metabolic benefits in terms of both short-term and long-term. I'm not going to go through that today. If you're interested in this type of Cabral concepts, go back and just literally go to stephencabral.com/podcast and then type in TT, and that stands for Training Thursday. And you'll actually be able to find all the previous Training Thursdays where I talk about rep ranges and how long to do programs and all of those great things. So check that out for sure, and you'll be able to get more information on that. All right. So what I want is this now. I want to talk about what do we do for 3 to 4 weeks where we can make an exponential jump in the body, even if you are doing your workouts right now. So again, like the fundamentals are we should always be exercising. And at a minimum, it should be every other day or Monday, Wednesday, Friday at least, because that will keep our metabolism boosted. It will keep our blood glucose levels normal. We'll be able to eat carbohydrates. It will keep our hormones balanced. It's going to turn off some of the aging-based genes, and it's going to work on cellular apoptosis and kill cancer cells in the body. Like all these great things happen from moving our body, being physically active. Okay. The second part to that is, besides your formal workouts, is that we just have to be doing 10,000 steps per day. Now, what if you're someone that just has foot problems or ankle problems and you just can't walk for 10,000 steps per day, which, by the way, just means being on your feet for 90 minutes or 100 minutes total per day. So pretty easy, but you have to be cognizant of it because most people are only around 3,500 steps per day, which is pretty disturbing. That means they're literally only on their feet for about 40 minutes or so per day. Like that is disturbing of what our culture has kind of come to. No one's fault, but it's just kind of, we've just been given all of these ways to make our lives easier. So we just have to get up and walk a little bit more. But let's just say you're someone that can't walk because of foot-based issues. But if you can get on an exercise bike, meaning that like for 20 minutes before work, 20 minutes after work or so, just to get that body moving, move that lymphatic system, you can get an at-home exercise bike. You can go to stephencabral.com/podcast and type in exercise bike. You'll see all the different exercise bike recommendations that I give you. Couple $100 maximum, well worth your investment. You can keep it right at home if you want, if you're not going to be able to make it to the gym most days to get your steps up. And again, I know it's not walking. It still counts though. You're moving your body, and that stands for a lot. Okay, so after that, we've got our workouts, we've got our walking. There's a way to crank up that metabolism. There is a way to transform the body, and it can take place 3 to 4 weeks, it can start to work within literally a week. And it's this: it's some daily movement to transform the body, not a formal workout and not just walking. What is it? Well, it's something very specific that's going to target the muscles to help them bring out the tone. Now, remember, there's a thing about muscle tone that's a little tricky, meaning like it's always there, which is why I don't like people saying that, oh, this is a great muscle toner. Because essentially that means that your muscle doesn't have tone before you work out those muscles. Well, in fact, that it already does, because your muscles already have the shape that they do because they're elongated in a certain way. So what do I mean by that? Well, for example, your bicep is connected up under where your chest and armpit is, and it extends all the way down to where your elbow is. It actually extends past that. Believe it or not, your bicep tendon connects all the way down to where your forearm is. So I don't want to go into the specifics here of insertion points and all of that, distal and proximal. But what I want to talk about is this, is that the muscle's already there. what we're looking to do is use it a little bit more, burn a little bit more body fat, and bring out that tone. And bringing out that tone means actually working the muscle while removing the body fat. Now, you remove the body fat mostly, believe it or not, through nutrition, doing things like the Dr. Cabral Daily Protocol, which is a smoothie in the morning, those types of great things. And again, it doesn't always have to be the products that I recommend. It can be your favorites, but I like to give a place of what I do in my practice. And certainly doing a 21-day Dr. Cabral detox or even just a 7-day detox, which I'll be starting up this coming Monday. Looking forward to that, actually. And so it can be any one of those things that will help you to kind of remove that body fat and remove that toxic water weight as fast as possible if you are inflamed. So what I want you to do, though, is I want you to target larger muscle groups. So by targeting larger muscle groups twice per day, I'm going to give you something really simple to do. You're going to be able to take your fitness results to the next level. A lot of people have done this in the past by simply doing this. I'm going to give you some examples now. 100 push-ups a day. Now, if you're doing 5 push-ups, like that's your max, of course, 100 push-ups doesn't make sense. But if you're someone that can bang out 30 push-ups to 35 push-ups a day, well, for you, you might say, okay, I'm going to do 100 push-ups a day for the next 3 to 4 weeks. And that doesn't mean that you're going to do all 100 in a row. It means that you'll do, let's say, work your way up to 50 in the morning and then 50 when you come home from work. Not right before bed, but when you come home from work before dinner. That would be a great way to get to 100 push-ups. Or you might be able to do 100 push-ups in the morning, some at lunch, if possible. I don't know if you're in a dress shirt, dress clothes or not, and then 33 before dinner. So basically 33 in the morning, 33 at lunch, let's say 34 before dinner. That's an easy way to get to your 100 if you're someone who can already do 30 push-ups at a time. This is a great thing. I've done this before in the past. I can tell you that doing, let's say, just take your push-ups, whatever they are, and multiply by 3. That's the easiest way to do it. So literally what I want you to do right now is, let's say you listen to this podcast, you're in the car, tonight, right before work, do as many push-ups, or right before dinner, do as many push-ups as you can. If it's 10, okay, your goal now is 30 push-ups a day for the next 3 to 4 weeks. So 10 to 12 in the morning, or even maybe 10 to 15, and then before dinner, 10 to 15. That is a great way to be able to change what your muscle tone looks like in your chest, your shoulders, your biceps, like your core. As long as you're keeping those hips up, you're basically on a plank, you're going to see all those muscles begin to change. I'm telling you, it's remarkable, and you have to try it. That's the big thing about it. Now, what's a great adjunct? What's a great partner to the push-ups? Pull-ups. And you can do them assisted, or I should say chin-ups. Chin-ups are going to be easier in your shoulders because there's no what's called internal rotation of the rotator cuff or shoulder-based joint. And that's a great thing to do because you can do it right at home with a doorway chin-up bar. I will link up today doorway chin-up bar. I'm going to put that in my notes right now. Chin-up bar. And I'll put in the band because the band, you can wrap around that chin-up bar and it's going to assist you if you can't do chin-ups right now. So I like people to get to at least 8 chin-ups on their own before they do them unassisted. So the easy thing is you just wrap a band around that chin-up bar and it will allow you to not have to do your full body weight. Now, chin-ups are going to tone the secondary muscle groups in your biceps and what's called the anterior deltoids, which is just basically, again, where the bicep tendon begins to connect under. And it's going to work all of the shoulders. But then it's also the primary movers are going to be your lats, and you're going to be, as you pull back your shoulder blades at the end, the rhomboids, mid-traps. So really great back workout. And that will help balance the chest, triceps, shoulders of the chin-ups that you're working, okay? So basically push-ups are going to be more of the anterior chain. That's going to be the front of the body that you see, as well as the triceps, okay? And then it's the posterior chain, which is going to be the back muscles, we'll say posterior rhomboids and the deltoids and the posterior rhomboids. Let me try this one more time. It's going to be the posterior deltoids, the rhomboids, your trapezius muscles in the back, and your lats. You can literally just go to Google and type in back muscles, and you'll see all those nice muscles that we want to work on and tone. Okay, so those are a great 1-2 combo. You can literally just do one set. That's it. One set of push-ups, one set of pull-ups in the morning and in the evening. Such a great way to start working on that upper body tone. Now, lower body tone could just be lunges, and they could be squats, and they could be all of those great things. Okay, let me give you a couple others. You could do 20 burpees. 20 burpees, yes, 20 burpees in the morning and 20 burpees before dinner. That will be a way to get that metabolism revved up. And what will that do? Well, it will help you better metabolize food. So that's one, okay? Better metabolize glucose, and that helps with carbohydrates. But also, it's going to help work the entire body, right? Because as you sit back into it, you're in a squat. As you kick the legs back, you're in a plank. You're doing a push-up if you want. And then you're coming in, you're doing a jump if you want at the end. So really great exercise. One of my favorites that I gave last year is called the Kettlebell Challenge. Every day you're going to aim for, let's say, around 33 swings. If you can do 33 swings a day over the course of a month, you're going to be at 1,000 swings completed. So pretty great. And all it takes is literally having one kettlebell at home. I will link up the kettlebell that we've talked about before. It's literally an adjustable kettlebell. You don't have to get that one. Like I have some fancy kettlebells that I like. Exercise equipment, which is like my steel mace, my battling ropes, my kettlebells, like all these just great things. And again, I can't use them when I'm in the city. But if, let's say I go up to Maine on the weekends, then on a Friday, a Saturday, a Sunday, we'll say, let's say I get up there late Friday afternoon, I'll be able to just do the battling ropes. And I'll say, okay, my goal is to do 3 sets of the battling ropes. If you've never heard of battling ropes, basically you're moving your arms up and down, you're swinging these big, thick, heavy ropes. And then I might use, let's say, the kettlebell, and I'll do a set of kettlebell swings after each time of that. The goal is not to make this part more of a formal workout, but the goal is to take 1 exercise or 2 exercises or really 3 exercises, and it's to do them on a daily basis, twice a day, that take you no more than 3 to 5 minutes. So I want to make this easy for you. This is not supposed to be a full workout twice a day in addition to your other workouts. It's supposed to be movement that's working major muscle groups twice a day. So basically 7 a.m., 7 p.m. we'll say, or 6 a.m., 6 p.m., whatever it might be. Again, like I said, before you maybe take your shower in the morning and then also before dinner. And what this does is get your body more metabolically charged so you're better able to handle the food, of course, but really that it's starting to tone, and I'm using that in air quotes, your entire body. This is, again, something I've used in my practice for many, many years. I'm a huge proponent of it, and it's not going to overtax the body. Here's also a couple caveats to keep in mind. You do not want, in my opinion, you don't want to do 100 push-ups every day for the rest of your life. I think it's a little bit too many reps for one particular muscle group or one particular movement every single day, especially if you're not balancing it with one-arm rows or chin-ups or anything like that. What I recommend doing these things for is about 3 to 4 weeks, just like you would do a typical 4-week protocol. That's enough time for you to basically ramp up, reach your max, and then you'll just, if you want to keep this going, well, you'll just move on to something else. Like maybe you do the push-ups for 30 reps a day, and the chin-ups, maybe you're just doing 3 sets of 8 with some assistance, right? And then the next month, you're doing the kettlebell swings, and maybe then you ramp up to 30 swings in the morning and 30 swings before dinner. Like maybe that's how you ramp that up, okay? That's a great way to do it as well. And then the next month, you could move on to something else. What I'm saying right now is this. You don't have to do this all year round, but what you can do is ramp up your results. That's a great name for this. Ramp up your results by simply taking on a 21-day challenge for yourself, 28-day maximum, where you're doing 3 to 4 weeks of increased output. Nothing that's going to totally exhaust your body, because you know that I'm against that. What I'm asking for is 3 to 5 minutes, and I'm asking for that twice a day, 2 times a day. So just for example, you might be saying, well, don't you do a similar morning protocol? And that's right. I do a morning protocol. I decided that I wanted this to be a part of my life. I do 1 set every morning of push-ups. I do 1 set every morning of chin-ups. Okay, that's if I can get that chin-up bar up there. I do 1 set every morning of squats. 1 set every morning of lunges. They're actually walking lunges, and I do that to help open up my psoas muscles, like open up those hip flexors, keep my chest up. And I do 1 set every morning of a V pose with a rotation, kind of twist back and forth, that helps open up my mid-back or thoracic spine and helps engage my core. So it's called a boat pose in yoga, or a V pose in essentially personal training. And what those exercises do are they wake up my body, they move my lymphatic system. I do not do them to failure. I'm not pouring sweat after that. That's not what this is about. This is about opening up my body. It's about breathing. I take in a lot of oxygen, so it helps me get my mind on my breath. And it engages my core. It opens up my hip flexors. It opens up all my hips and lower back in general. And it invigorates my body. When I do that, it's a signal saying the day has started. This is how I start my day. So those are my morning movements. So, and I only do that once a day. I don't do that at night. That's just those are what I call my 5-minute morning movements. That's all it takes. All of that takes no more than 5 minutes. Why? Because just like you, I've got a lot of things to do in the morning as well. So that's my 5 morning movements. My 5 minutes of movement in the morning. That's a lot of M's right there, a lot of alliteration. So what I do after that then is when I'm doing a challenge for myself, like my kettlebell swings challenge, okay? Let's say I want to reach 3,000 swings for the month. My goal then is to get to 100 swings for the day. So then I might add on, 33 swings in the morning, 33 mid-afternoon if I can do that, and then 33 before dinner. If I can't, well, I'm just going to do 50 in the morning and 50 before dinner. That is how I might add on my extra, because remember, my 5 minutes in the morning, that's already part of my routine, and it's very balanced. So I'm not doing 100 push-ups every day, right? I'm just doing whatever my body, let's say somewhere around, for me, typically, I think I usually do somewhere right around 35 to 40. And I don't take it to failure. Let's say that morning my body's kind of feeling it at around 33. Okay, I'll do 35. And if I'm like, oh, I have tons of energy, my upper body, everything feels good, I'm not sore from a previous workout, I just go to 40 and I just typically stop right around there. I am counting, but I don't care what I reach, because it's not a workout where I'm trying to train my body. If I was trying to do like max out, well, who knows? Like maybe I'd hit 60 or maybe I'd hit whatever. It does not really matter. Before, back in the day, I wanted to reach 100 push-ups in a row. That was a goal of mine. And so just over the period of a month or 2 months, I hit that goal, just doing 100 push-ups in a row. Not a goal of mine. It's just, that's not where I'm at right now, but it is a cool goal. Like, for people who want to hit 100 push-ups in a row, it's the discipline that it takes to get there. That's the fun thing about doing it. Because after that, you're like, oh, okay, I hit 100 push-ups. So that's great. Like you move on after that. So what I'm all about is balance in my life, but I'm really about invigorating and energizing my body. If you've listened to my previous Training Thursdays, you know that for me, exercise is now not about really transforming my body. I want to be in shape. There's no doubt about that. But what I want my body to be in the best shape that it can be, to carry me through life with all the energy that I need to accomplish all my goals of in career, of in family, of in relationships, of being able to travel, of being able to do all of those things. I need that energy, which is why I don't overdo it in my exercise, but also I don't underdo it. And that's what I was talking about today. I want you to be on your every other day workout program, or what I try to do now as I'm ramping up is the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, something fun on the weekend. That's what I'm trying to do right now in the spring and summer, okay? And then I let my morning or this like 3-week challenge be, what can I do? Can I ramp up my push-ups? Can I ramp up my kettlebell swings, which is a nice full body exercise? When in doubt, kettlebell swings. Amazing exercise that gets the glutes involved. It gets everything involved. Your core, just a great exercise. Just do them properly, okay? Or burpees. Burpees is an easy exercise. You don't even have to do it with the push-up if you don't want. And you can even do it modified. You can do it in so many different ways. If you don't know what a burpee is, look up a squat thrust or look up burpee. Check it out. There's a million videos on it. Just make sure you do it properly. And that's a great one. So if you've never done burpees, you simply might do 10 burpees in the morning and then 10 burpees before dinner. That's a great way. And you can say, I'm going to do that every day for 21 days. I don't want to tell you even what the exercise should be. I'd rather you just pick a full body exercise like the push-up pull-ups. It might be 20 squats every morning, 20 squats before dinner. It could be the kettlebell swings. It might be the burpees. It might be mountain climbers. Like maybe you do 100 mountain climbers in the morning and 100 mountain climbers when you come home. That would be a great one as well. Or what about jumping jacks? How about you do 60 seconds of nonstop jumping jacks in the morning and 60 seconds of nonstop jumping jacks before dinner? All great exercises. But what I don't want you to do is say, I'm going to do bicep curls. That doesn't count. I'm not looking for that. What I'm looking for is full body exercises that you can maximize your metabolism, that you can reach your full potential, and to get in amazing shape, even take it to that next level whenever you want, 3 to 4 weeks before your big event, vacation, or maybe just summertime fun. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Cabral Concept. I do appreciate, as always, each and every one of your listens. And if this was helpful, please do feel free to share it with anyone it could serve. Did you know that the body really only becomes sick or imbalanced in only 2 ways? Over time, you become deficient in vital nutrients, and you also accumulate toxins internally and from the environment. As those nutrients diminish and you increase your total toxic load, your body then begins to show the first signs of dis-ease. It's actually quite predictable, and the good news is that if we know how you began to fill up that proverbial rain barrel, we also know how to empty it to begin the healing process. I was fortunate enough to learn this ancient healing process from my mentor after suffering from debilitating diseases for close to a decade. It was only when I began to implement these techniques did I finally overcome my illnesses and go on to live a life of energy and vitality that I now enjoy. I'd like to share with you now what I discovered after traveling all over the world and how to combine the best of ancient healing wisdom with state-of-the-art science. Allow me to teach you exactly how I've been able to help over 250,000 people to empty their rain barrel and begin to transform their body and lives into what they've always hoped they could be. To get your copy of the international bestseller, The Rain Barrel Effect, simply go to stephencabral.com/rainbarrel.